guys, it's Mish. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a few things that have been placed in my spirit. So there's 5 things in total. I'm going to go over each of those things to begin with, and then I am going to circle back and go more in depth with that. The first thing, it says you have partial faith, but you want the full blessing. The second thing says some of you guys are in parked cars and you're wondering why you aren't going anywhere. The third thing says that some of you guys are too worried about the people in the fast lane passing you up, but little do you know that they're getting off on exit 78 and you're going to exit 85. It says you're going in the same direction, but you're not going to the same place. Next thing says your life is not linear, so why are you acting as if it is? Who told you that because something did not happen in a specific order or within a certain time frame that it wasn't going to happen at all? Because I never told you that. Last thing is take time to enjoy your own journey, which means you have to be present and be in the now. So those are the 5 things. I'm gonna hop back to number 1 and then go from there. There will be timestamps located at the bottom of the video in case you want to hop to the specific thing that resonated with you. So back to number 1. This one relates to me. It says you have partial faith, but you want the full blessing. It went back to so many times in my life where I feel that there has been nothing but God. Like that was the presence of him, that was his doing as to why certain things happen. And it's just like you want to believe and trust in me fully when the stakes are low, but all of a sudden when the stakes are high, you want to question and rely on yourself and rely on man when I created man. Like what sense does that make? And it's just like, especially when it comes to finances, there's a certain area of my finances where I was just like, oh, okay, like I'm thankful that God did these things. But then when it requires me to act on my faith, then I'm just like, like, yeah, I believe, but do I believe that much? Like, do you truly believe? And then it's just like, well, they talk about all you need is the faith of a mustard seed. And it's just like, dang, Lord, do I not have that? Like, are you calling me out? Like, let me know. And it's just like, no, like I do believe. So I need to act like I believe, and I need to act like I know what God is capable of, because there's been plenty of things in my life and it's just like I did those things for you. So continue to have that same faith regardless of how high or how low the stakes may be. So the next thing, or it's just like some of you guys are in parked cars and you're wondering why you aren't going anywhere. This reminded me a little bit like faith without works are dead. Like this vehicle called life requires some input from you. Put things in motion so that God has something to bless, or a direction to send you in. It's just like you're standing still and you don't want to do anything, but you're wondering why things aren't happening for you and why you're not going anywhere. It's going to continue to remain the same because, you know, like they say, things in motion will stay in motion. Once it's started, it's easier to keep it in motion. But because you're standing still, you don't see any movement, any progress, any change, because it's going to take a lot more energy and effort to see those things from the current state that you're in. The next thing it says, some of you guys are too worried about the people in the fast lane passing you up, but little do you know that they are getting off on exit 78 when you're going to exit 85. You might be going in the same direction, but you're not going to the same place or location. And I feel this just relates a lot to people comparing themselves to others, which sometimes you do. And it's just like, sweetheart, or sir, or ma'am, you're in the car. You're in your own race. You in your own lane. You have to stay focused on the direction that you're going in. Like, yes, you have peripheral vision, and yes, you see things going off to the side, but that vision is given to you so you can avoid certain things, not so that you could be distracted by certain things. Like, tell me what sense this makes. My focus is ahead. I'm trying to get to that destination. So you're telling me that I'm looking to the side and worried about what they got going on, that somehow I'm going to make it to my destination safely? No, you don't even know where you're going, or you're too distracted over here to even focus on what you have going on. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself and do the things that you know that you need to do, and you will arrive at the location that you're supposed to arrive at when you're supposed to arrive at it. It's that simple. Not always that easy, but it's that simple. Says, your life is not linear, so why are you acting as if it is? Who told you that because something did not happen in a specific order or within a certain time frame that it wasn't happening at all? Because I never told you that. So I think that once again, this ties into like believing and trusting in God, and then also having enough courage and enough faith to stay disciplined to the things that you know are true, even when they don't seem like they are going to work out in your favor, which also requires you being able to have that relationship with God, to understand and be able to hear his word. Because I know that there's lots of times where I've just been so distracted and so unfocused that I couldn't even hear the word of God because there was so much other noise going on around me. So now I'm personally in the process of, strengthening that relationship and getting back to the basics with him and creating that time, so that when I do hear his voice about what I should and should not be doing, I'm easily able to discern that from things that are not him, or things that are my own will and my own way. So within that of itself, it's just like, yes, I want to have X, Y, and Z, but I also have to be ready for X, Y, and Z. So sometimes we get so caught up in wanting those things that if those things came to us at this moment in this time, we would ruin that. And I constantly hear about people that talk about a career, or talk about a relationship, or talk about wanting a child or other things. And it's just like, if it had came to me when I wanted it at this age, at this time, I wouldn't been able to manage it. I would have been miserable, or something happened along the way that would have deterred me and derailed me from actually appreciating that. So I feel as long as you're working towards the things that you're supposed to be working towards, and it's not always easy knowing what exactly you're supposed to be doing and when you're supposed to be doing it, but you putting things in motion and putting out the effort, and then looking to God for direction and for guidance to help you along the way, is what's going to get you there. So I have to sit and tell myself, like, that's not for you right now. And then this is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to do. And sometimes when I'm waiting on stuff, I do sit and I ask God, like, why do I not have this right now? God, please show me why I'm not ready for this, or whatever the case is, something along those lines. I do get an answer. And it's just like, I may not see it as a problem. Like, please, that's minor. Like, that's not a big deal. But like, it's not a big deal to me, but I'm asking for something that doesn't solely involve me. So whether that's a promotion at work, it's just like, well, sweetheart, that's problematic if you're in charge and you can't manage or handle, or you haven't figured out how to deal with X, Y, and Z, because that's going to be a problem that you have frequently that you need to deal with. And if I put you in that situation and then you fail, then you've went backwards. Or if it's just like, oh, okay, like, I have these personal traits that I really need to work on, or some baggage or some healing that I need to address and take care of, because I don't need to cause undue harm to somebody where I could have dealt with something, but I was so impatient that I just wanted it now, that I only cared about my feelings and how that played a role in my life, versus saying like, okay, like I'm going to work on these things because at the end of the day, they're going to make me better. And then it's going to put me in a better position so that when I receive these things, I'm more grateful, I'm more thankful, I'm not going to mismanage it or whatever the case is. The next thing is taking time to enjoy your own journey. So if you're new here, that is something that I always say. That is something that I truly believe we all need to, for the most part, be a little bit better at being present and not comparing ourselves, and just having satisfaction in what we have going on now. So I'm currently reading The Power of Now. I got this book earlier in the year and I would just pick it up, put it down. But now I've gotten to this point where I'm just committed to reading at least 5 pages a day out of this book. And there's a few things that have been standing out to me that I really want to share with you guys. So I'm going to read those really quick. You cannot be both unhappy and fully present in the now. Forget about your life situation for a while and pay attention to your life. So it talks a little bit about the difference of your life situation and what your life is. It later goes on to say, when you are full of problems, there is no room for anything new to enter, no room for a solution. So whenever you can, make some room, create some space so that you find the life underneath your life situation. It says, ultimately, this is not about solving your problems. It's about realizing that there are no problems, only situations to be dealt with now, or to be left alone and accepted as a part of the issiness of the present moment until they change or until they can be dealt with. Then it skips a little bit and then it says, the mind unconsciously loves problems because they give you an identity of sorts. This is normal and it is insane. You can become so overwhelmed by your life situation that you lose sense of your life of being. It says, as far as your life situation is concerned, there may be things to be attained or acquired. That's the world of form, of gain and loss. Yet on a deeper level, you are already complete. And when you realize that, there is playful, joyous energy behind what you do. And then I just have 2 more points. One of them says, you know that nothing real can be threatened. And then the last point, I just highlighted. It says, if your destination or the steps you're going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you are taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose. So with that being said, I really hope that something today I said resonated with you. If it did, let me know in the comments. And as usual, I'll catch you guys in the comments into the next video. And be sure to take time to enjoy your own journey. Bye.